Hi everybody, welcome to our first lecture video of the year. You'll see for these videos, generally we'll go through, take some notes together, and define a new concept. For today, it's not a very math-heavy video. We're going to kind of use it as an intro to get used to it, get used to watching the videos, and make sure that we're all up to speed with the technology. That being said, we are going to go over two things in this video that we're going to use, honestly, every day for the rest of class. So a few things to note here. If you're somebody that processes faster than I'm talking right now, if you go to the bottom right corner, you should see a little gear symbol for settings, and you'll be able to turn up the speed. So if you want to listen to this in faster time, you're able to do that. Other things to note, you can slow me down. If I'm talking too fast, feel free to, instead of doing like 1.5 times speed, you can do 0.75 times speed. Same thing for rewinding, pausing the video, all of those things. Use the features of YouTube. It's going to help you kind of go through here at your own pace and hopefully not get left behind. With that being said, I know that these videos are not everybody's favorite. I'm still here in person, so if you have any questions as you go through the video, raise your hand. I'll come right over. I'm happy to go over anything in the videos that's not 100% making sense to you because, again, I'm right here. So use your resources around you. This is one tool to help us learn, especially in the big space, so a bit of a balance here, but it's our first day. So with that being said, let's jump right in. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the mood meter. So the definition of the mood meter, it is an emotional intelligence tool designed to expand your emotional vocabulary and discover the nuances of your feelings. So as you're following along in your note sheet, what you're going to want to do now is any blanks in the definition for mood meter, this is the time where you can go ahead and you can fill in those blanks. And you'll see that generally for these videos as we go throughout the year. We'll start off with the definition or steps for a skill, and you'll kind of be following along on that note sheet and filling in these things as you go. A second note, if you feel like you can skip ahead in the video because you're like, oh, I got this down, I do ask that you fully watch them because a lot of these videos have subtle points here and there that are so important to learning and are going to be really important to being successful in any assessments that come up. So with that being said, we've defined the mood meter. We see that it's an emotional intelligence tool. We see that it's something that helps us understand what we're feeling, but what actually is it? Well, I'll draw one in. So we actually do this on the coordinate plane. That's how our mood meter is started. That's why I love it for math class. And this is how it works. The x-axis represents emotion, and the y-axis represents energy. And this is how it works. High energy means you have positive energy. So if you're really high up here, honestly, anywhere in this range, any of those dots, that's high energy. Emotion is a feeling of positivity or negativity. So maybe you're angry on a given day. Angry is a negative emotion. It'd be on the negative side of the x-axis. If you're happy, that's a positive emotion. You'd be on the positive side of the x-axis. So why do we have to put this on a coordinate plane? Why do we have to make basically what we're feeling more complicated? Well, it's because feelings are nuanced. That means they're complex. It's not always the same thing. If someone's happy, it doesn't mean you're the same kind of happy as somebody else. And I'm definitely someone that this helps me a lot because I'm not a really high energy person. And this helps me define where I feel on a given day. So we'll go through some things that might help us as we go through our mood meter here. So I'll give us an example. The day I adopted Winnie. So Winter is my dog. I talk about him all the time. I'm also very, very talented at drawing him. Here he is, my dog Winter. So the day I adopted him, what was I feeling? Well, I was like ecstatic, like super excited, over the moon. I was happy. I was just so pumped because I love dogs and Winnie is like perfect. So I was just like, this is amazing, the best thing in the world. So if we're thinking about the x-axis, was I feeling positive or negative? Well, here I was happy, so I'm definitely positive. I'm feeling good emotionally. What about my energy, though? So the day that I adopt Winnie, this is my y-axis feeling. Was my energy, was I like jumping up and down because I was so happy? Or am I like about to fall asleep? Like I'm like serene, I'm just super calm, but I'm feeling good. Well, I'm pumped. I brought a dog home, running around the yard with him, literally chasing him around. So I was definitely high energy. I was, jumping up and down, like very physically active. So we'll say like overjoyed. I think a good word for this would be like just running around, honestly. So that would be positive energy. I'm moving physically a lot. I'm all over the place. So that's positive. So that's how we use the mood meter. My emotion is positive, so that means I go to the right. And my energy is positive because I'm jumping up and down, so that means that I go up. So where am I on the mood meter? I'm somewhere over here. So this would be the day that I adopted Winnie. So that's one example of how we can kind of use this to plot where we are. We can go through one more example, and I think it kind of helps to talk through these things and to talk through where do we label some of these things over here. All right. So next one, we'll do another Winnie one. So the day Winnie sat for the first time. So he learned his first command. So on this day, how was I feeling emotionally? So this again is my emotion. Well, I was really proud of him. I was happy. I was like, yes, my 8-pound Chihuahua does have a brain. It works. He can sit. That's huge. So I was feeling, again, happy, very positive. Overall, I was pretty proud of Winnie. I think proud would be a good word. But what's my energy at? That's my y-axis. So Winnie sits down. Do I start running around my house screaming because I am so happy? As a person, no, I do not do things like that. So that's not me. So my energy on that day, I would say, was like neutral. I was just like proud. I was just like smiling, standing in my kitchen, seeing my cute little dog just sitting down looking up at me. So I would say maybe even neutral to low energy. This is kind of a tougher one. So I would say maybe close to 0. My energy, I'm not super high, but I'm also not about to fall asleep. So a negative energy means like I'm really tired. Well, that didn't happen. When he learned how to sit, I was like, cool, this is pretty good. So where was my ordered pair? Well, let's do this again. I am again, and I'll do this in another color, feeling positive emotion. So that means I'm going to the right here. Happy, I'm proud. Next, my energy level. What is it in this case? Well, like I said, I'm not jumping for joy. My dog's doing good. I don't want to overexcite him or anything. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I'm maybe neutral energy, maybe a little bit negative. Just kind of chill. I would say that's where my energy's at. I'm there. I'm chill. So here we go. That's my point. So right now we have two things that we've labeled, two very different situations. So there's one situation, here's another situation. We've talked about this using that same emotional vocabulary, talking about emotion and energy, and we've also labeled it on the coordinate plane using our positives and negatives. This is why the mood meter is powerful. Two things are positive, but they're very different feelings. Every time I'm happy, I'm not running around my yard. The same thing goes every time I'm happy. I'm not just low energy and chill. There's different variations of being happy, and there's different ways that we express it. And the mood meter helps us identify that. In life, this is useful because it can help you check yourself. If you're feeling really high energy and you're like, I'm so pumped, you can think about where you are on the mood meter and see if where you're feeling matches where you are. So for example, if I'm in the classroom and I'm running around, I might stop and think, this is probably not appropriate for a classroom. And maybe I'll bring my energy level down. But that doesn't mean I need to feel sad while I do it. Maybe I'm just a happy, but a lower energy happy. So the final thing for the mood meter, and we'll talk about this quite a bit in class actually, because I like to check in. I like to see how we're doing. See where my ruler went, there we go. When we are labeling this, we do it on the coordinate plane. We use colors. So green as a color, we put in the bottom right. This is that chill, I'm feeling good color. Yellow as a color, it's like the sun. High energy, happy, positive, but we're jumping out of our seat. Red as a color is anger. We're upset and we're mad about it. We're stomping around, as the kids say, we're big mad. And then in the bottom left corner, this is blue. This is like your glum. You're in the corner, kind of like Eeyore, just like, oh, bother, life is bad. And that's what we're gonna see there. So when we're looking at this, this is positive happiness, positive energy. This here is positive happiness, but low energy. Anger, negative happiness, but positive energy. And our last one here, negative happiness and negative energy. So we can see 4 different types of ways to feel, and it's not a binary. Obviously here you can feel very happy or a little happy, but both those are positive values. So that's the mood meter. And hopefully this kind of helps go in depth in terms of explaining it and seeing how these things work out together. So with that being said, we have one more quick thing to go over, one more quick definition, and then we'll be able to move on from there. Our next definition is the coordinate plane. And that's what we've been using actually to create the mood meter. And this is the math concept behind it. So a coordinate plane, it's a 2-dimensional plane formed by the intersection of a vertical y-axis and a horizontal x-axis. So we've already drawn this out, but we'll define it in our mathematical terms now. So we're going to use some of that math vocabulary. So horizontal means left to right. So horizontal is the x-axis, and vertical is up and down. So that's the y-axis. We see positive values go to the right, so like 1, 2, 3, and 4. We see positive values go up. So again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Negative values go down. And negative values go left. So we are thinking directionally in terms of positives and negatives. So just quickly to recap here, ordered pairs are how we move about this. The origin is the center of the coordinate plane, and every ordered pair has 2 coordinates. The first one is an x direction, the second is a y direction. So we'll go over 3 examples. Example number 1 we'll have as 2, 4. Example number 2 we'll plot as -3, 1. And example number 3 we'll plot as 1, -3. So we'll do our first one in blue. This will be our blue example. I like to annotate these. Our first x is our left-right direction, and our second y is our up-down direction. So this one is telling us we're going 2 to the right, and we're going 4 up. And everything starts at the origin here. So we go 1, 2 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is right 2, comma, up 4. That is that ordered pair. Next, we'll do it in yellow. -3, comma 1. Let's write down, I like to call them our GPS directions here. So GPS directions is telling us we're going 3 left because it's a negative value, and then 1 up. So 1, 2, 3 to the left, 1 up, -3, comma 1. Our last one, we can do in green. Again, GPS directions to start. 1 is positive, so we go 1 to the right this time. -3 is down because it is negative. So 1 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3 down leads us to right 1, comma, -3 down. I like to go over this on the first day because I think honestly the mistakes are people get left, right, up, down mixed up. Sometimes we use that X coordinate and we accidentally go up or down. So here's just a quick reminder at the start of the school year. Remember, left, right first, up, down second. So here it is. There is the coordinate plane. We also reviewed the mood meter for the first time, and we talked about some of the ways that we can apply the coordinate plane. So the first video you ever do, the first skill that we go over, the coordinate plane, we've already applied it to something. We've applied a math concept to emotional intelligence. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to make sure we finish all of those questions on the book widget for today. As always, questions, reach out. I'm here. If you're finishing this outside of school, feel free to send an email my way if you need any help working through it. Again, we want you to be successful. We're here to help. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.